Hello everyone, and welcome to another Modswell video. I'm your host Maxwell. Today I'm going to be taking a look at my top mods of the month, and I know it's been a strange month with the update making it hard for everyone for a few days. The only thing I can say to this is at least they're working on the game, or more likely getting Starfield ready. Either way, whilst they're in there, why don't they just throw us some more reserve space? Anyway, that's enough waffle, let's get on with it. First up is Untarnished UI. This is a really simple and well put together UI package, designed not to be too flash, but to be well placed for actual play. Your stats bars have been moved up to the top left corner, the compass is up the top and it's far more streamlined. Text boxes, fonts, basically most of the UI features are going to be getting a boost with this mod. Now I know a lot of people who have a favourite font for the game, or basically would want a few aspects from this mod to blend with their current setup. Then just put this mod above those. As it only costs 3.4 megabytes, it will be fairly easy to work around. Simple as that. Your favourites are going to overwrite this. Speaking about placement, Untarnished UI will go in with your menu, UI and font changes in the logical load order. Moving swiftly on to my second mod, Concentrative Shouts. You know how when you fight a dragon, their version of Yolt or Shul is a continuous blast of fire? When we do it, it's more of a hiccup. With this mod installed, we can even the playing field and allow for a potentially more destructive weapon. Concentrative Shouts will be dealing with both the fire and frost breath shout. Offensively, shouts have always worked best for me as buffs to my character. This is allowing me to actually use the voice to successfully attack enemies. Well, sort of, I'm very much still getting used to it. Concentrative Shouts have been created to be as compatible as possible. Just run it lower than something like Thunderchild for the best results. For balancing purposes, there are two versions of this mod. I am using the standard version, where each extra word learned on either fire or frost breath will just increase the power of the word right up to legend or ancient dragon status. There is also the final word version, which only makes changes to the last word learned. I happen to find the standard version more fun to play, as getting to the third word can just take a little bit of time. Concentrative Shouts will set you back a tiny 567 bytes, so there's no excuse not to try it out. Next up is Zim's Trainers expansion. Skyrim is filled with talented warriors, mages, hunters and crafters, but barely anyone can teach you how to do these things. With this mod installed, 40 vanilla NPCs will be reworked to help train the Dragonborn in their skills. This is great because it makes those one-line NPCs more useful and makes the towns and cities feel more like a useful hub to visit. But the mod isn't done here. It adds in a new interface when talking to trainers. This UI will also allow you to make edits to customize your experience with the mod, things like cost and level limits. This will allow you to make yourself very powerful, but that's on you. You will at least be held back by trainer requirements, such as missions which are required to unlock them. Zim's Trainers expansion will set you back 243.5 kilobytes, which makes it so easy to slot in. For best results, put this in with other AI edits. Next up is Apothecary, an Alchemy Overhaul, plus food and drink add-on. This is doing exactly what you imagine and completely reworking these features. The mod is giving a new balance to the game with potions now healing over time, and as they no longer stack you won't be able to spam potions for invincibility. The author has also made edits to how fortifying potions work. These edits take two routes, with any potion that buffs your combat potency such as Fortify one-handed, seeing an increase in the attack boost, but for a shorter time. On the other hand, boosts to things like health, magic or stamina will boost for less, but for far longer. This works really well, as you will be using your buffing potions in different ways during your rotation. The short-term combat buffs would be suited to a hotkey placement, while the longer-term effects could be used before entering a hostile area. This overhaul will also be making sweeping changes to food and how that affects the player. Harvesting ingredients has never felt so worthwhile, nor has actually cooking in-game. The food will now be the primary source of healing your stats over time, as their effects have been boosted dependent on the recipe and what stage of it you're at. For anyone who likes to play with naturally regenerating stats turned off, then this side of the mod is going to really benefit you. It also plays into most survival builds and pairs with Campsite well to make a preparation style combo. Potions are also included in this overhaul. Another example of a mechanic in the game that I just completely overlook because I'm kind of lazy. With Apothecary installed, poisons are now going to cause stacking damage over time. The author of this mod, Simon Magus, also created the spell overhaul Mysticism. The poison edits are designed to work with this installed for more uniformity amongst effects. This is because these poisons are going to use effects from the Alteration School and Mysticism, which includes single-use debuff poisons. On top of this, it's also going to use the influence spells from the Illusion School of Magic, as well as those added by Mysticism. These will let you control everyone without changing off of your build. Seriously, this mod has got a lot going for it. It will be a cherry on top to so many other build types. Seeing as it only costs 555.2 kilobytes, it's basically just taking a single slot to do 10 mods worth of things. I see no reason not to use this mod. I put it in with my item attribute and effects changes in the logical load order, and so far, so good. Next up is ESCO, Elden Scrolls Combat Overhaul. Well, actually, I'm making this 2 mods designed to be used together and throwing in GDB's Impossible Animations Elden Scrolls JH. The idea behind these 2 mods is to create a more Elden Ring or Dark Souls style combat in Skyrim. If that's something you're interested in, then you're in luck. I'll start with the combat overhaul, where the author has bundled together features from their favourite combat overhauls such as Wildcat's stamina management, injuries and time blocking mechanics, mortal enemies combat reach and imperfect accuracy, Duel's combat realism with edits like enemy AI improvements, stagger systems, group AI and more. You've got Dark Souls movement, half stamina regen whilst blocking, action-based projectiles so you can more easily dodge. There are even weighted effects when you hit the enemy in combat. Honestly, there's a lot going for this mod. It is actually quite a nice entry into slightly more difficult combat in the game. It isn't a hellscape of difficulty, but rather a slightly more challenging way to approach the game. When it comes to the animation part of this combo, we have 3 modders working together: Gluttino, Devil Plays and Bracca. Together they have evolved Bracca's many animation overhauls, which I have featured many times. GDB's Impossible Animations Elden Scrolls JH includes animated potions, animated poisons, animated ingredients, the animated crafting on the go mod Vitrium, Sky Idols, Sky SA and the bug fixes, JH combat animations, unblockable for no recoil on hitting a blocking character, Vanguard bash animations, jump behavior overhaul, jumping attacks, proper stagger direction, and finally, movement behavior overhaul. This is a pretty beefy setup and includes pretty much everything you could want as a plug-in and play. Well, almost. You will need to have violins, ultimate dodge mod reborn, super fast animated loosing, and XPM SSE for the mod to work. Due to how much it includes, the cost is going to be pretty big though, at 72.6 megabytes. This is going to get closer to 85 megabytes when you include the dependencies. That being said, it is massively worthwhile. Have this as low as you can in the order, below all other animations. ESCO is far friendlier here though, costing 1.1 megabytes, and this will go in with your other combat mods in the logical load order. And that's going to do it for me. I have left the links for the Xbox and PC versions of the mods mentioned, where applicable, in the description below. I've also left all my usual links to the Discord server and my donations page. If this video has been helpful, I would really appreciate those likes, comments, and of course subscriptions. They really help push my work out with YouTube's algorithm. But either way, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.